The death of Fidel Castro triggers both mourning and celebration across the world. One America's Rachel Acenas has mourned the reaction from the international community.
Critics of Castro's regime are reflecting on the negative impact of his decades-long dictatorship, while supporters are praising his achievements as a revolutionary leader. In Spain, both pro- and anti-Castro demonstrators take to the streets.
We, the working class of Spain, have met here outside the doors of the Cuban embassy in Madrid in solidarity and to remember a giant of all the peoples of the world.
During a summit in Madagascar, the French president paid tribute to Castro while also addressing concerns about human rights violations under his regime. He also welcomed the opening of a new chapter between Cuba and the U.S.
Fidel Castro was a great figure of the 20th century. He sparked a lot of hope with the Cuban Revolution. For a time, for many people of Latin America, but not only, he was a reference. There was also some disillusionment, but he always wanted to defend Cuba with pride in the face of all exterior pressures, and in particular, the embargo which hit his country.
Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was also at the summit, where he called Castro a long-standing friend of his family and country.
I was lucky enough to visit Cuba just last week and meet 3 of his children and his brother, President Raul Castro. The links that bind our two countries are strong.
UK Labour Party leader Jeremy Corbyn also acknowledged the violation of human rights during Castro's rule, but credits him with Cuba's health and education system.
And I think the legacy of Castro will be that, but will also be this enormous figure on the world stage, the one who campaigned against apartheid and the one who brought a different language and a different set of values.
In Moscow, Russian supporters lay flowers outside the Cuban embassy.
It is a pity that such a person has passed away. We all know of him, what type of leader he was, what an orator, how beautifully he spoke. People in Cuba really loved him. They couldn't live without him. He enchanted them with his speech.
While supporters saw Castro as a tireless defender of the poor, critics claim he drove his country into economic ruin. This Russian man hopes his death means Cuba will progress as a country.
A person that put all 3 generations into just a wonderful, beautiful island that was famous all around the world. He destroyed it and turned it into something. He created a structure that is not suitable for life. I'm on the other side. Of course it is bad that he died, but I think this will be a huge push for Cuba's development.
In Argentina, supporters left messages on the gates of the Cuban embassy in Buenos Aires.
There are many opinions. Many people consider him a saint, and others as a tyrant. Depends on each person's opinion. The public opinion is very divided, I think.
While there are many different opinions about the former Cuban president, almost all can agree Castro put Cuba in the spotlight on the international stage. For One American News, I'm Rachel Acenas.